First here in 1989. This is a record setter. Last year, winning $225,485. First shot. Brian has his share of followers here, and rightfully so. And here's a young man, even though he hasn't won, has made an impression on bowling experts. Marc Mcdowell, 5'8", 160 pounds. Close last week, 8th the week before. Tough break for Marc, leaving that 10-pin on the right lane.
Marc Mcdowell, Chris, is just a wonderful young player out of West Texas State. Also, as you see, has a very strong profile, 5-step delivery, slightly cupped at the top. Has to guard against a bounce in his swing, gets low at the line, starts off with a nice shot that leaves a solid 10.
Average 224 on this championship pair, crossing it twice. In 4 years, he's earned $143,361. So today, an opportunity to win 30 grand, but he has to win 4 games and, of course, defeat his formidable opponent, Brian Voss, in the first game. I'm sure he'll say robbed again.
Back-to-back solid 10s. A little misfortune starting off for Mcdowell. I first met this young fellow in Madison, Wisconsin. I was doing an exhibition. He was fresh out of college, West Texas State, and I encouraged him to go on the Bowlers Tour. And right there in the bowling center, a group of people got enough money together to back him on the tour, and they still have started to reap the rewards.
A little careless, hurried it, wry smile. He has an open frame and immediately trails by 12. Bad break.
Look at him off balance. You remember, we want to stay on balance at all shots, and sometimes a little carelessness with that 10-pin across lane. Mcdowell throws it hard. Didn't practice any of those cross lane spares in his half hour before we came on the air. Paid the penalty.
And couldn't trip the 4 on the right lane. Brian Voss, who had opened with a strike. If you just joined us, the winner will meet Nathan Terry Jr., who led 3 of the rounds here, in 3rd position after 42 games.
The 4-pin, no problem for Voss. Cross lane to the left, a little easier than going to the right.
And he, too.
Well, there's only one thing you can say about that, Chris, is the center of the lane must have a lot of oil on it. Anytime you see players miss a 4-pin to the right and a 10-pin also to the right, the players are going across the center of the lane, and they're thinking they're going to get the same amount of hook as they get the outside of the lane. Lower surface friction caused the ball to slide too much.
Head-to-head competition, it's just never give up.
That's for sure, and I haven't seen 2 quality players like this miss easy spares like that any time in quite a while.
A high hit leaves a 10-pin for a confused Brian Voss, 2-time All-Army champion when he was stationed at Mannheim, Germany.
And really a good spare play maker. I think where he learned to, as you look at the grip of Brian Voss, where he learn to become such a good bowler as he bowled on so many tough lane conditions in Europe where you really had to work on your spares. Surprising to have an open early.
Probably some of our viewers asking why we haven't seen Brian. Well, last year, it was 2 months before he made his first TV appearance on the Winter Tour, and then went on to win the PBA National Championship in Toledo, along with the True Value in Peoria. Okay, now, a look at Marc Mcdowell. A high hit, leading to 3, 6, 9, 10.
One of the toughest spares in professional bowling. A bowling tip of the week, which we will be featuring later on in the year, will feature this shot. As you see, the ball of McDowell is cutting high, taking out the 6 pins on the left-hand part of the lane. And the key is the 9-pin, the pin behind the the 3-pin, the double wood. You have to make sure you get enough power to carry that out.
Nice job. Marc Mcdowell, last week he had missed the top 5 by 1, and we asked him about the effect of that.
Well, it's frustrating getting that close, Bo, and missing by 1 pin. It's really a heartbreaker, but I think it made me more determined and more hungry this week coming in. I was used to the pressure, and it definitely helped me handle the pressure of the position around this week, and it made me more determined, and I think it helped me get through.
Very close match.
Carry it!
And Marc Mcdowell, former walk-on place kicker for the University of Wisconsin. First strike.
Here at Don Carter Lanes. Here's the oil pattern. I'll show you what the PBA has done. On lane 13, the oil is down there about 20 feet, and this is heavy oil. Then it goes a little bit lighter down here to 40 feet. This is light, and then it's dry right in this area for a hook area. Now here's the line that the players are playing. They're playing right around between the first and second arrows, going down, taking a sharp break into the 1-3 pocket. Both lanes are working about the same. When a player gets a hot hand, if he can carry the 10-pin, he can shoot some real big scores here.
All right. Following a spare, now shooting in the 4th frame, Brian Voss. This is the 12th year we've come to the Don Carter Kendall Lanes. 2 strikes and 4 frames.
The man who just has taken over professional bowling with his consistency, his style, and obviously his money winnings. Look at this style. Look at that pivot foot, that right foot in perfect position, the knee bend, the good extension, elbow almost completely locked. Nobody can bowl any better than Brian Voss is right now. You can get a hotter hand, but your form can't be any better.
Last year, 10 telecasts, 2 victories, and #1. Suffering the 10-pin on the left lane now in this first match.
If there's any advantage, obviously Voss, the hot hand, the more experienced player, he has also bowled on this championship here a number of times. He made a tour of 20 cities in Florida with me just 2 years back, Chris, and we did bowl on this championship here while we're down here in Don Kendall Lanes, so he kind of knows him.
Each professional, 30-year-old Voss and 26-year-old Mcdowell, have had open frames coming in the 2nd for each. And now Mcdowell wants to double here to take a 10-pin lead. Strike working, shooting now in the 5th frame.